Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video tutorial, I will show you in Python Django web framework how to get the selected value or text from a drop-down list using JavaScript. I'm reloading the browser. Now I'm selecting the color. Let's select the black. Click. See, here we got black color. Now I want to select yellow. Here we got the yellow. Orange. Suppose I want to display the ID values, the index values instead of the color names. So for that, here in the option, I'm adding the value is equals to between curly braces, double curly braces, result dot. I'm adding the ID in the column name, so result dot ID. That's it. Let's save this file. Again, save all. I'm reloading the browser. Now I'm selecting blue. Click. So here we got the ID of the blue is 3. ID of the blue is 3. Let's select the yellow, which is 7. Yellow 7. If I select orange is 1. That's it.
If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates.
Before writing the coding part in Django web framework, to bind the data into a drop-down list control and get the selected value, first we'll check the table in phpMyAdmin database. The table name is a colors, which contains 2 columns. The first column ID is the auto-generate column, and the second one is a color name, which contains a colors. Now my aim is first I will bind this color name column into a drop-down list control using Django web framework in Python. After that, when a user selects any particular color from the drop-down list control, I want to display on the browser using JavaScript. So let's start the coding part. Before creating a new project in Django web framework, first we'll create a new folder in local disk D drive. Right click the mouse, select new, click folder, and the folder name is colors. Let's browse this colors folder. Right now this colors folder contains empty. Now let's create a new project application in this colors folder. I'm using Visual Studio Code to write the Python programming. First, we'll add the folder which we have created in D drive. Open file, open folder. The folder name is a colors. Select folder. And the folder colors is added to our Visual Studio Code in the Explorer panel. At the right side, there is a welcome page. Let's close that one. Right now, this colors folder contains empty. There is no any files or folders. Let's minimize, and I'm expanding the colors folder. Notice it's totally empty. Now let's create a new application in Django web framework. Go to View, select Terminal, and here we got our terminal command prompt, and the path is our folder name in the D drive. So first we'll create a new project or application in Django web framework. So to create an application, Django -admin, then write the start project and give the project name is select colors is my project name. Click enter, and here notice in the colors folder the select color, the application is added successfully. Let's expand the select color. Notice in this application there is a subfolder called select color and one manage.py, which is a Python file. Let me expand this subfolder in this project. Notice there are some default Python files, settings.py, urls, asgipy, and these default Python files are added automatically when I create this project select color. So after creating this application, next step, we'll add a new template to render our HTML pages. So select the project, select color, right click the mouse, new folder. Let's give the proper name for the folder, which is a templates. Now in this templates, I'm adding one simple HTML5 page. So again, select the templates folder, right click the mouse, new file, and the file name I'm adding index.html. And here we got our index.html page. Now let's write the HTML code here. Doc type, I'm closing the HTML. After inside this HTML, I'm adding the header section. In this header section, I'm adding the title. The title is get selected text from the drop down list, DDL. Now after the header section, I'm adding the body tag. This is the small letters body tag. Inside this body tag, I'm adding the header tags h1. In this h1, how to get the selected value or text from the drop down list using JavaScript. The second header tags, h2 tags, Python, Django, web framework tutorials. After the header tags, I'm adding horizontal line. Now after the horizontal line, I am adding one simple select option element, which is the drop down list control. So let's add the select. After that option, the first option I'm adding the label is the select color, and this option I'm adding the attribute called disabled is equals to true, disabled is equals to true, and selected. And after that, I'm adding the another option element which contains all the color names. Now in this option, we'll get the color names from the database. So first, let's save this file, this HTML file. Now in the project, there is a subfolder called select color. Right click the mouse, add the models page, select new file, give the name models.py. Now in this models.py, I'm defining the properties and my table name. First, let's import from Django.db, import models. From this models class, the class name is a COL, is a class name, and I am adding models.model column. Now in this class I'm defining the properties. So in my table we have two columns, ID and color name. The ID I'm not adding, I'm adding only the color name. So I want to display the color name, so let's add the color name is equals to models dot char field. Let's add the data type here. Max length is equals to length is equals to 100. After defining the properties, next we'll add the database table. For that, again I'm defining a class, and this class name I am adding the meta class. Now in this meta class I am defining db underscore table is equals to between double quotes. Let's add our table name. Our table name is the colors. So copy the colors name and paste here. That's it. Let's save this file. Save all. Now after adding the models folder, now we require the views page. Again select color folder, right click the mouse, new file, give the name for the file name views.py. Now in this views page, first we'll import the classes from Django dot shortcuts. The first class name I'm importing the render class. So this render class is used to render our HTML pages, the templates folder. And the next one, we need to add this class name from this models page in this views page. From the models page is in this select color. So select color, select color dot models import. Let's add the class name from this model, which is a COL. Copy and paste here. After that, let's define a function. Def display color is a function name request colon. After that, this function name return the render page render method. And this render method takes two parameters. The first one is a request comma, and the second parameter between double quotes I'm requesting the page this index.html to render on the browser. So add our HTML page index.html. Next we need to get the color names. Get result, declare a variable. I'm adding this class name COL here, call dot objects dot all method, then comma, let's call this class and this variable in this render method between curly braces, because it's a dictionary. I'm adding the key value is our class name, this class name call colon result. Copy this one and paste here. That's it. Let's save this file. Save all. Now after defining the views page, next now we need to configure our URLs. So open urls.py. Notice in this urls.py, come to the bottom, the URL patterns, there is a default path which is the admin, which I don't require, so I'm commenting with hash. Let's add our path between single quotes. I'm not defining any value, so it's a home page. Then we need to add this views page. So for that, let's import from dot import views, and here views dot in this views page we need to add the function name display color. So copy this one and paste here. That's it. Let's save this file. Save all. After that, we need to configure our database connection string. So let's open the settings.py. Now in the settings.py, come to the bottom. The first we need to set up the installed apps. So the installed apps between single quotes, we need to add the project name, select color. Our application name we need to add here, not the folder name. We need to add the project name here, the application name. Then in the template section, notice the dirs directory. We need to add this templates directory with the base directory. So os.path, the path I'm adding, the path joining method, I'm joining the base directory, base underscore directory with this templates folder. Within single quotes, I'm adding templates. After that, come to the bottom, notice in the databases section, the default database is a SQLite 3. But our database is MySQL, which is PHP MyAdmin. So I'm adding MySQL. And the second attribute, notice here the name. Here the name between single quotes, I'm adding my database name. So switch to my database. Our database name is a sample DB. This is a sample DB. So let's add that one, sample DB. The next one is the username is equals to colon root comma, and the next parameter is a password colon between single quotes. Here the password I'm leaving empty here. I'm not adding any password here because I don't have any password to log into my PHP MyAdmin database. If you have any password, please enter that one here. Then we need to add the host. It's the host. The host is a local host, comma, and we need to add the port number also. My SQL port number is 3306. Let's add that one, 3306. And the last one, we need to add options. In the options, between curly braces, the first one between single quotes, I'm adding init underscore command colon between double quotes. I'm setting set SQL underscore mode. SQL underscore mode is equals to between single quotes. I'm adding strict underscore trans underscore tables. That's it. We have configured our MySQL connection string in this database section to our project. Let's save this file. Save all. Now the final step, and now in the options between curly braces percentage for, let's declare a variable result in the data we are getting from this models class COL. The column name we are getting from this class COL, and after that let's close the for loop percentage and for. Now in the options between curly braces, double curly braces, I am adding the result dot. In our class, our property is a color name. Let's copy this one and paste here. That's it. Let's save this file. Save all. That's it. We have done the complete coding part. Now let's run this server. Now in the terminal, first we need to add our project name. So cd change directory, select color, enter. After adding our project, then we need to install pip install SQL client, enter. I'm sorry, it's not SQL client, it's MySQL client. MySQL client. See, here we got a message, the requirement already satisfied, which means the MySQL client package has been installed successfully to our project. Now let's run the server. To run the server, add Python. We need to add manage.py to run the server, manage.py, then add the run server, enter. So here we don't have any issues in our project, and below that this is our web server URL. Control plus click, mouse click that one, and here we got the output. Notice the header tags and the drop down list control. Notice the color names are binded into this drop down list. This is the color name: orange, gray, blue, white, orange, gray, blue, white, black, pink color. Now the second part, when a user selects any particular color, for example, if the user select blue and click the button control, I want to display that selected drop down value using JavaScript. So first let's add the button control. After the select, I'm adding the simple input type is equals to submit, and the value of the button control is click. Let's close the button control. So this file, we'll check the output. I'm reloading the browser. See, here we got the button control. Now we'll add the JavaScript. Now when a user select any particular color, I want to display that color name. That color name I want to display in the some bold tags. Bold tag. Let's add the style for this bold tag. Bold is equals to color colon green. And let's add the ID for this bold tag. ID is equals to the ID is a color display. Now in the header section, after the title, I'm adding the script tag. Close the script. Insert the script. The type is equals to, inside the script, type is equals to text slash JavaScript. Now in this JavaScript, let's first define the function. Function get color name is a function name. Now in this function, let's declare a variable display name color is equals to that color we are selecting from this select option element. So let's define select ID is equals to select color document dot query selector. S is capital here. Notice that one, S is capital between double quotes. We are selecting the color from this select option, so I'm adding this. So I'm adding this ID select color. So when we are adding IDs in JavaScript, we need to prefix with hash. Add that ID of the select element, which is a select color, and that color and that selected color I want to display in this bold tag. So answer ANS is equals to display name color dot options. We are selecting the colors from these options. The options, the colors, we have multiple, more than one, so I'm adding an array. So display color, display name color dot selected index dot value. After that, now let's add this variable to this b tag, bold tag. So document dot query selector. The selector I'm adding the ID. So when we are adding IDs, we need to prefix with hash dot text content is equals to this variable ans and with the semicolon. That's it. We have added the functionality to fetch the selector drop-down value and display in this bold tab. Now we need to add this function name to this button control on click event. On click event is equals to, I'm pasting the color function name, get color name. That's it. We have done the complete coding part. Let's save this file, save all. We'll check the final output. I'm reloading the browser. Now I'm selecting the color. Let's select the black. Click. See, here we got black color. Now I want to select yellow. Here we got yellow. Orange, orange. Suppose I want to display the ID values, the index values instead of the color names. So for that, here in the option, I'm adding the value is equals to between curly braces, double curly braces, result dot. I'm adding the ID, the column name. So result dot ID. That's it. Let's save this file. Again, save all. I'm reloading the browser. Now I'm selecting blue. Click. So here we got the ID of the blue is 3. ID of the blue is 3. Let's select the yellow, which is 7. Yellow 7. If I select orange is 1. That's it.